I guess if you've been following for a while, you already know that we purchased our land unseen. 7 acres in the wilderness, on a lake, on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia, Canada, 2,100 kilometers away from our hometown in Ontario. Were we crazy? You betcha. Did we risk it all? Absolutely. We had no idea until we arrived here, with our downsized life on a trailer, just exactly what we owned. I still remember in the very early, unknown days, washing our dishes in this beautiful little nook of our land, now known as our sanctuary, and I had to crawl under decades of forest overgrowth and weeds just to get to the water. I used to think I was so deep in the wilderness when I was doing those dishes, looking over my shoulder every second for bears and bobcats, two wildlife creatures I was not used to living with. I knew at the time that I would spend the rest of my life creating a hiking trail from our sanctuary to the far end of our property line, and I've been working on it since day one. Now here I am, only a couple years into it, and I'm hiking my trail any random time I want, and it's beautiful and perfect. I have 3,000 feet to cut, and I've reached the 1,500-foot mark, going into year 3. The other day I decided it was time to get back out here and clean up what I've already marked so I can start working on the next leg of the trail. I buzzed through with my weed whacker until I got to the first intersection at the power pole where it was very thick brush, and I just plowed right through. And then I thought I was pushing through a rose bush or something because I started to feel all these little pricks in my legs. And when I looked down, I was horrified to see that I was being swarmed by bees. Panic is an understatement. I was literally standing on top of a hive that was buried underground, and there were thousands of bees attacking me from the waist down, girly bits and all. You guys, I ran like a cheetah out of there as fast as I could, still holding the weed whacker and frantically brushing the bees off with my other hand while they were attacking the said hand. I ran about 100 feet, stopped, stripped down, and began shaking off any remaining bees from my clothes, then continued running home. Imagine that sight. Luckily, I'm not allergic to bees. In fact, I barely swell up. And yes, they did pelt my entire lower half. So here we are in Bee-land, and of course we will turn around here and resume this area later. I can go around and work on other sections in the meantime, but I gotta tell ya, I'm feeling a little bit guilty for bombarding through this Bee-land like I did. Many bees had to die protecting their home because I just couldn't wait until the late fall to start working out here. Lesson learned, bees. I'm sorry. So my trail is named after my dog Tia. I call this trail Tia's Trail. And for me, it's not like the Squirrel Mountain Trail or the Skyline or Buddy's Mountain Trail or any other trail I've hiked where there's a clear focus and an end result in mind. Tia's Trail for me is for meandering slowly through nature, stopping to smell, to really look and feel and absorb and escape. Maybe listen to my favorite musical artist, or maybe just listen to the trees and the wind. Maybe to think, and maybe to not think. One thing's for sure, when I'm out here on my self-made trail, I feel a lot of nostalgia. For some reason, it always brings me back to our humble beginnings here, and I do love remembering good old days. I read a really lovely poem the other day I'd love to share with you. It's called Something Told the Wild Geese by Rachel Field. Something told the wild geese it was time to go. Though the fields lay golden, something whispered, snow. Leaves were green and stirring, berries luster glossed, but beneath warm feathers, something cautioned, frost. All the sagging orchards steamed with amber spice, but each wild breast stiffened at remembering the ice. Something told the wild geese it was time to fly. Summer sun was on their wings, winter in their cry. can feel autumn coming in like a lion. Why does it surprise me every year how quickly the seasons change? We really just can't blink, can we? I've been watching the weather systems today, and my radars tell me more rain is coming. The plan for today was to get out on a hike at the end of one rain system, clean the shop during another rain system, head out on my kayak for the calm between systems, then in my pajamas for dinner time radio bingo night. I'd say my plan worked like clockwork. It smells like mint, and I'm wondering why. It's not this weed. Find out which weed smells like this. Ooh. Is that like, what is that? It smells just like mint. Is it mint? Is this a wild mint? I'll find out when I get home what that is. So without fail, every chance we can, Manfriend and I are always checking our hydro ram pump. The DIY system is still going strong for all you inquiring minds. We have water, we have firewood, we have 3 sources of heat, we have backup generators for backup generators, and we are just dipping our toes into fall, ready for winter. I'd say we got a handle on our priorities, you guys.